Financial planning is crucial for an individual's ability to meet ongoing financial obligations, stay resilient to income shocks, achieve future financial goals, and make financial decisions to improve one's overall quality of life. From budgeting and saving strategies to investments and debt management, how do we secure our financial future? I'm Anita Wu, and this is Money Matters. Hello there and welcome to Money Matters on your favorite channel right here on TV3, also available on HD via Tonton. Our guest in studio today is Alvin Tan, President of the Financial Planning Association of Malaysia. Thank you for joining us, Alvin.
Thank you.
Welcome to the program. So we'll start off with a question about this post-pandemic economic landscape and how Malaysians grapple with where to invest their money to achieve their financial goals. This includes choosing between different types of investments and managing investment risk as well. So given the options available today, what do you think are some of the key opportunities and tools and channels for Malaysians to grow their wealth specifically, and how they can navigate potential risks associated with those specific opportunities?
Okay. The security commissions in Malaysia have been quite progressive on this area, especially in engaging with industry players to come up with all these new options. Nowadays, you know that we are one of the few countries in the world that allows buying and selling cryptocurrencies.
Correct.
So we have actually have a license, a proper platform to actually allow that. On top of that, we also have...
that is regulated.
Correct, exactly. And on top of that, we also have a robo-advisory platform. So for people who don't know what to buy, what to sell, then of course you have the robo algorithm to actually helps you to actually manage your investment portfolio.
Right.
Yeah. So we have all this, and I think on top of that we also have a lot of nowadays even traditional asset managers that actually come up with apps, mobile apps, to actually allow younger investors savvy to actually invest on their own via to the mobile apps. But having said so, I think with all this new opportunity, of course, there will always the rise of a lot of all these illegal scams around here, and there's a lot of dubious investment that promise high return, unreasonable high return, like for example like 2%, 3% a month. I think for consumer or investors like us, we have to be very careful on all these unlicensed or scams out there in the marketplace.
How does one tell the difference? What are some of the main flags for people to be aware of?
The key word for that is that if it's too good to be true, then you have to be careful with all these things. And on top of that, I think just be alert. If you're actually not sure, there's always a regulator you can check on SC websites, on Bank Negara. There's always have this alert list that you can check whether all this investment is actually legit or not.
Yeah, I think that's a very good tip. Thank you very much, Alvin. Let's talk about how over the COVID-19 pandemic, 20% of the M40 fell into the B40 category. So earlier this week, the Finance Ministry had said that there'll be greater emphasis now on the M40 group in the upcoming 2024 budget. So what are the specific challenges that Malaysians encounter when it comes to long-term financial planning, do you find? And what strategies can be employed to address these challenges in terms of the long term?
I think we can't deny that in today's world, we are actually living in a sandwich generation. So when I say sandwich generation, we always have the middle class, or even us, for example, we actually squeezed between taking care of our old folks and looking after our children. So if let's say you look at the top part, looking after our old folks, then you're looking the rising medical costs. So I think that's important going forward. I think that part government also need to come in to look into how to control the inflation, especially on the healthcare side.
I mean, because we also have an overburdened public health sector.
Correct. And also on the lower part, taking care of the children, of course, you know that education inflation is creeping every year. So I think on that note, on M40 group, in the past, they have never enjoyed the assistance given by the government. Those reserved for B40, they're never able to qualify for that.
Correct.
So I think on that note, I think the government actually need to step in so to assist the M40, especially our generation, or
sandwich.
sandwich generation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and especially considering that they are the generators mainly of the economy, and also those who spend back into the economy a large buffer of it. Thank you. So in the, let's move on to retirement savings. What do you feel are some effective strategies and investment options for Malaysians to maximize their retirement savings? It's been quite a hot topic, you know, and for you to achieve those retirement goals, financial goals, especially retirement, to retire comfortably.
I think, like it or don't like it, we are aware that retirement nowadays are a big challenge, and because for lifespan on general Malaysian actually have increased over time because of the advances in medical healthcare as well. So people tend to live longer now.
Yeah.
So in order for you to afford to live to retire at the age of 55 or 60s, I think that's only can become a dream.
It's true. We all have to work a little bit longer.
Correct. If you're subjective, for example, like even my father, my dad, now he's about 75.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think going forward, generation could live probably up to 80 years old, 90 years old. Just imagine you retire at 60, you still got another 30 years to live on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Alvin, we're also now officially an aging country. We're officially an aging nation with life expectancy also increasing, right? And so this is what we're faced with. So what do you feel can be some of the strategies here or government incentives that have come in?
I think important part is always to seek help from licensed financial advisors that they will actually help you to actually draw a proper financial plan. I think that a lot of people out there in the industry that they actually don't know their numbers, how much they need actually to retire upon on. And also because by engaging with a proper financial planner or financial advisor, they're able to actually build in all those other factors, including inflation or other probably circumstances or emergency that you probably may not able to foresee.
Events.
Correct. So they actually can build that on in the part of discussion. So I think for a start, seek for professional help. I think we also mentioned the rule of thumb. You always have a 20% saving going to a retirement fund. Thirdly, I think even you're retired, you still need to keep your money to work at work. So keep investing, okay? But I think important thing is always diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on very quickly also to the next topic. It's also a hot topic. There's been an increased awareness of sustainability, social responsibility. What avenues and opportunities do you see that can contribute to both meeting personal, financial, as well as ESG goals? You know, it seems to be a new and very engaging topic, both on a corporate and personal side. Do you see a challenge in integrating these green principles into one's investing strategy?
I think not really exactly. If you actually look at current environment, we're actually in an environment that we have all these climate changes and all this. I think to ensure that our next generation are able to live on, I think as the older generation, we have a responsibility onto it.
Indeed.
Correct. So exactly, I think nowadays there are a lot of talks about ESG. There's ESG fund, the green fund. So I think as part of the investors, these are basically investment that can look into to actually also contribute to the environment as well to the next generation.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity right now for ESG.
Alvin, let's touch on what you had mentioned earlier, which was about how to safeguard your assets online. Do you have any advice on that?
I think important thing is, on the framework on protecting our assets online, the regulators, Security Commissions, Bank Negara, and including the police force, actually came out with its SOP on the framework to actually how to safeguard. There's also a lot of promo video. There's also a dedicated hotline that if you actually have, even the banks are also participating. So if you have met up with a scam or actually did something, you still have time to actually recall back your transaction.
Mechanism in place.
Correct, exactly. So I think for that, I think as investors, always be very careful, especially when you receive SMS link, and then always don't click on that SMS
the phishing link.
Correct, exactly.
Got it. Thank you, Alvin. Hold that thought, Alvin, as we progress to a break. We do wonder as well about those who are self-employed and those without a regular income. There is something out there to assist them to save for retirement. The Employees Provident Fund, EPF, will tell us more after this break. Alvin, I'd like to ask you more on financial planning right after our discussion with EPF. So do stay with us on Money Matters. Thank you for staying with Money Matters. We now have Employees Provident Fund, EPF Retirement Advisory Service Officer Morgana Murugan with us, who will speak to us about retirement savings. So Morgana, I understand that the EPF has introduced a voluntary contribution initiative called Aisaraan. Can you tell us more about what Aisaraan is about?
Okay, so actually Aisaraan, it's designed specially for self-employed without fixed income and also employees from gig economy. It's a very simple, flexible scheme which member who registered under this scheme, they are eligible for the incentive from government. And it's also a very flexible scheme which member able to contribute whatever amount that they able to contribute. That meaning to say they will plan for the amount that they want to contribute. And this scheme actually for those self-employed who don't have permanent jobs or steady income, which they can savings for their retirement.
That's wonderful. Can you share with us about more of the benefits of Aisaraan?
Okay, so benefit that member have is they have, we can say on the financial side is around 4 benefits. Okay, the first benefit is tax relief. Okay, so member they can maximize tax relief up to 7,000, and from financial perspective we can see that this is the best way to maximize the tax relief.
7,000 ringgit annually.
Yes, so 4,000 for the contribution from EPF. Whereas another 3,000 EPF contribution plus with the insurance life. So they can plus with the insurance. If they don't have insurance, the total they can maximize is 7,000. That is the first benefits that they get. The second benefit that they get is it's incentive from government itself, which 15% from the contribution that a member paid, so they will get the incentive from government. So whatever contribution that member paid, they get a top up 15% from government.
Matched.
Yes, and or maximum subject to 300 ringgit. Okay, for example, if they contribute 1,000 ringgit, so they will get 150 ringgit. Or if they want to maximize the 300 ringgit, so they should pay 2,000 ringgit per annum. Okay, the third benefit that we can see is that it's the dividend that paid by EPF. So when member contributing to EPF, so their money will grow with the dividend and the contribution made by the member. So in this scenario, so the members' money will grow over the years. So they can have a retirement savings on their retirement age. And the fourth one that we can see is that the death benefit. Okay, so death benefit, so when a member passed away or demise, the next of the kin eligible to get that benefit, but it's subject to our terms and conditions.
Right.
But what we can see here is that the death benefit will be helpful, especially for those who are breadwinner in the family. Because if they are working alone, so if anything happens to them, the family will get one-off payment, 2,500. Okay.
So thank you, Morgana.
Besides that, we also can see that benefits from on non-financial. So non-financial is a peace of mind. Why we are saying that is that when a person retire at the age of 55, so if they have a retirement savings, so they no need to depend on others. Okay, so indirectly they have financial security and they are financially independent, which they no need to depends on others, so they can be independent.
Okay, Morgana, to summarize, who should sign up for Aisaraan? And how do you sign up?
Okay, it's a good question. Thank you. So actually, it's basically it's for Malaysians, and they are 60 years and below. And this is since this is a focus for self-employed. So who can register is that those who are working in gig economy. Okay, then insurance agent, hawkers, Grab drivers, and housewife, government servants. So these are the group of people that they can register under this scheme.
Okay, Morgana, so if you can tell us, for those who are interested, how do you sign up for Aisaraan?
Okay, so those who are interested to sign up on iSaraan, actually with digitalization, everything on fingertips. So member actually, they can download mobile apps in any stores, any app stores. So they just, for example, if they are EPF member, they just download the apps, then they register under iSaraan. Then once they register, they even can use the mobile apps to make the payment under a tab increase savings, okay? And for those who are not registered as an EPF member, they can use these mobile apps to register as an EPF member first, then they register iSaraan and they can start to make payment, okay?
That sounds good, Morgana, and sounds quite easy and accessible as well. There we have it, Morgana Murugan, Retirement Advisory Service Officer from EPF. To summarize, for those who are self-employed or without a regular income, iSaraan is there to assist them to save for retirement. To help save even more, the government's matching contribution, as well as tax relief and competitive returns, can help savings grow over time. If you're not already saving, iSaraan is a great place to start. How to do it is indeed by signing up without delay, much like building a nest egg for the future. Money Matters continues right after this breather, where we'll be back with FPAM's President Alvin Tan, so don't go away. Welcome back on Money Matters. We have Alvin Tan, President of the Financial Planning Association of Malaysia, in studio with us as we continue our discussion on financial planning. All right, Alvin. So let's talk about the Madani economic framework and how you think Malaysians can take advantage of some of the government incentives and policies, such as tax benefits or retirement savings schemes, to enhance their financial planning efforts.
I think on the sum, we support the government initiative to raise the money income of Malaysians through the progressive wage policy and the Madani economic framework. I think the whole framework is actually designed to actually increase the income first, and also to increase the foreign direct investment to the country, and also in order to actually create high-value jobs for the public.
Yes.
I think with all this initiative going on, the more income that the person's made, of course, then you can have better financial planning, you have better financial protection, and then you can actually save more for your own retirement.
Let's speak then about different age groups and different generations and how financial planners cater to these different groups, whether it be the baby boomers. How would that be, and is it different? I mean, obviously, if you're closer to retirement, the planning would evolve appropriately, and right down to the millennials and Gen Zs. I mean, the official employment age now is 15, and so you can technically already open an EPF account, right?
Yep.
So what are some of the strategies involved?
I think in terms of a person's life stages of their life, of course, you have always all these different priority, for different set of stages of life. For example, when you are young, you are single. Okay, retirement may not come to the first thing on your mind, but what is important when you engage with a financial planner to ensure that this group is well planned or protected. I think the first thing we always ask this group of people: buy your first medical card. Because if you actually have anything that, at least there's a medical card for you to actually rely on.
Yes.
So that's actually important. Okay, the rest of other things can come later. Okay, then again, if you actually are from singlehood, then of course you enter into marriage, and then you have children, you have different plans. Then again, the different priorities will come in again. Then the different priorities have to make sure you probably have to save for your children's education.
Yes.
And then you have to look at your children's medical plan again. So all this will come in as well. I think again, then for that part, during that stages, then the first savings or the first planning into retirement planning then become very vital. Yeah. So I think different state, of course, different priorities. But of course, then individuals have different priorities and needs. So that's why engaging with a proper or licensed financial planner, that will actually help you to paint the roadmap for your life.
Indeed, and then that communication is good as well.
Yes, correct.
I think one topic that has been under-addressed is financial literacy and how important that is actually in your own financial planning. I mean, it's also good to engage a financial planner, yes, but I think it is your own inherent responsibility to be financially literate.
To me, I think financial literacy have to be trained from young. I think one thing about Malaysians' education, when you talk about financial literacy, is always to the stages when you learn that probably during your university time. But I think for start, always start from young. Probably the country or government can actually look at designing certain financial literacy program since probably in their primary school. Start from young. So when you start from young, then they will be more alert, and also they will not fall into all these scams when they grow up, and probably they can actually manage their personal finance better.
There's no such thing as a quick buck. I mean, that's the problem these days. Are there any other proposals that you can think of in order to improve financial literacy and improve financial planning, make it easier for individuals?
I think as a financial association, we have been doing a lot of workshops to actually educate the public. We have talks, we got seminars. We also work with groups that actually came up with a board game, of like a Monopoly board game, to actually teach people about financial literacy.
Wow,
how you invest, actually what are things that certain circumstances come about, things happen like this, what we are able to react, and what you need to do.
With more engagement,
correct.
For that generation especially.
So I think on that note also, I think we're also looking into how to convert that board game into apps.
I was going to say.
Yeah, so that people can actually help and also engage together.
That is the app-native generation, and I think that would be a lot more. I think we also have some local fintech companies that are developing such apps which help you budget and increase financial literacy. All right, Alvin, so to wrap up our conversation today, can you tell us about some of the proposals that you have made on behalf of FPAM to the budget 2024?
Okay, in order to help the public to increase their financial literacy, I think one of the ideas that actually we have proposed to the budget is actually to allow probably a 1,000 ringgit of tax relief on financial planning fee. So that actually helps people to jump in the bandwagon of starting this process going forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much once again, Alvin, for your insights on the show today. For the past half hour, you've been with us on Money Matters. If you missed the earlier part of this episode, you can also catch up on Tonton. Be sure to join us next week, same time, right here on TV3. With that, I'm Anita Wu. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend ahead.